Joining us now is Norm Eisen, State Democracy Fund Chair, former special counsel and special assistant to President Obama. He was also an advisor to the impeachment managers during Trump's first impeachment. Norm, it's good to have you with us. What's your reaction to what we're hearing from the president and the vice president about how they see their executive powers?
Anna, I don't think the courts or the American people are going to let the vice president, the president, Mr. Musk, who's an administration official, who's also suggested that the courts may not need to be followed or judges may need to be unlawfully removed. He said that in one of his tweets earlier today. I don't think they're going to get away with that. What you're seeing is a shock and awe assault on the foundations of our democracy with all of these unconstitutional and illegal actions, and a responding shock and awe by my group and our allies and many others, going to court and securing these orders, stopping them. I won orders last week, the very first case, locking Mr. Musk out of the Treasury Department. He has no right to look at that data. Tying the hands of the president, the attorney general, and others who want to reveal the identity of 6,000 FBI agents. They don't have any legal right to do that under the Privacy Act and otherwise. We're in court this morning arguing that Donald Trump's birthright citizenship, rewriting the Constitution, he gets to pick and choose who are citizens of the United States. No, we're in a courtroom right now with our allies fighting that. And we filed a brief on behalf of Anna, almost 24 conservatives. Every presidential administration, from Nixon to Trump's first administration, saying, of course, this offer to force federal employees out without the permission of Congress, illegal. So, and that case will be heard today. We've been involved in many of these cases, and they're going to lose.
Well, let me pick up on that last one you just mentioned, the case in Massachusetts that will be heard today. And you write in the amicus brief that you file with a group of 22 Republicans, quote, "This case comes at a critical moment in our nation's history when a new presidential administration seeks to expand its powers in relation to Congress. At the same time, it invites the federal courts to remove longstanding checks and balances under the law. Do you have confidence the courts will be that check?"
Anna, I do. We've seen already the courage of the men and women of the federal judiciary standing up to Donald Trump. The vice president and others may speculate about defying court orders, but if they do, they're going to find an American political leadership and the American people from the grass tops to the grassroots. When I was preparing our Treasury order last week, Anna, we're getting ready to go to court. A spontaneous demonstration erupted, peaceful, in front of the Treasury. Political leaders from Congress and ordinary folks. So we know from other countries when the courts are backed by the people, they're able to oust autocracies. So I have confidence. We'll see what happens at the Supreme Court. But even this Supreme Court is not going to want to see their orders thwarted. That's the most fundamental principle. And I think American democracy is responding strongly, meeting shock and awe with shock and awe. I think we'll see success in the fork in the road case today in Boston. And I don't think the American people are going to let Trump, Vance, and Musk get away with defying court orders.
But seriously, though, what happens if this administration defies the courts and just ignores their order? I mean, you talk about protests, but who holds them really accountable? Do you see the court issuing a contempt order and the U.S. Marshals taking action?
I do. I think that the courts will start with civil contempt. They'll move to criminal contempt. They have broader sanctions. They're going to rule against the administration in that case. I think the Supreme Court will back them up. And Anna, look, the ultimate guarantee of a democracy is the people of that democracy peacefully exercising their will. The United States is not unique. We've seen autocratic regimes try to do this before. Poland, Brazil, Czech Republic, where I was ambassador, all in recent years had autocratic leaders ousted by the people. And I think American democracy is strong enough to meet this test. We are at a crossroads. That's why we've been involved in dozens of cases, with dozens more coming in the weeks and months ahead. But I believe in the strength of American democracy. If Donald Trump and Elon Musk and J.D. Vance test the will of the American people, of the American courts, I think they're going to get a very strong pushback.
Before I let you go, according to the New York Post, you were one of the officials that had security clearance just recently revoked by President Trump. How does that impact your work?
I was on the list of 8 individuals that Trump targeted. I took it as a backhanded compliment, Anna, that these orders we've secured, the many cases we've been a part of at Democracy Defenders, are starting to bite. And I'm not going to let it affect my work. As I clap back at the president on social media, I take it as a backhanded compliment, and I'm going to redouble my efforts. We're not going to let this administration get away with it. The courts, rule of law, backed by the American people from the grass tops to the grassroots, are going to peacefully but forcefully defend our democracy. I'm proud to be a part of that. And the president is only encouraging me to work even harder.
Norm Eisen, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us. I imagine conversation to be continued as you speak of more orders, more lawsuits to come.